Hello everyone, welcome back to JK Examplified. Friends, today we have the opportunity to interact with Mr. Mohammad Shabir, who has secured All India rank 419 in the UPSC 2022 examination. He hails from the village Bachianwala in Surankot block of Poonch district. And of course, he has made his family and whole of his village proud by clearing this very tough examination. And he's an example for all the hardworking candidates. And his journey has been one of perseverance and hard work. So, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing?
All is going good. Everything fine.
So, sir, please tell us about your journey, firstly about yourself, your educational background, and how you went on to aspire to be an IAS officer, and of course, finally clear and become an IAS officer.
Yes, I was born and brought up in a village, Bachianwala. I was an ordinary student. That's today also. I'm still ordinary. But over the time, the journey which I completed, that's UPSC Civil Services, that was started in a village. But over the time, because of the requirement of the situation, I moved out of the village. After completing my schooling, primary schooling, I moved to Poonch city. From there, I completed my schooling 10+2.
Okay.
After completing my 10+2, since I was finding that I have to move to a good institution, so I moved to Aligarh Muslim University.
Okay.
That was the turning point where I started dreaming big, and where I dream about the IAS, and the dream was realized.
Finally, yeah, it has come to fruition now. So, firstly, what all hurdles you faced? Because you hail from a primarily a rural background, and एक assumption है कि UPSC Civil Services examination is meant for the elite and the toppers of urban centers, but yours is a story from rural area and clearing the exam. So please tell us about that.
Yes, there is a misconception. I will say that only people from elite society or elite background, they clear UPSC, but it's not true. Every year there come out the story of many person. They are and they have very poor background. They don't have the resources, but still they make it. But I think more than money or anything, the presence of willpower, and the willingness to do hard work, and to face any challenge, that's very important in this journey. And the learning that we get from failures, that embolden us to achieve such big goals.
Great. So this was your third attempt, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So you have ultimately faced the high of clearing the exam, but you have faced the low as well. So please tell us about strategies for 3 stages, that is prelims, mains and interviews. And जब आपका किसी भी stage में एक failure होता है, उसके बाद में how do you get back to clearing that particular hurdle?
Okay. I will say, when we start UPSC, we are highly motivated, everybody, because we are aspiring to going to clear such a big exam that's really very tough. But over the time, what happened that we start understanding the bigger mess of this UPSC, that it need a lot of skill development before getting into that. So although I was aware that this is going to be a tough fight, but what happened that I went straight for prelim, but I was less prepared for CSET. Since I was thinking that I will be able to clear CSET, and this is not a big big thing altogether. But what happened that I was not able to clear CSET.
Okay.
It struck me at the boundary. Then second time I went for the second attempt, but still this time also I was not prepared for CSET, because the
Okay.
toughness of CSET for the last 2, 3, 4 years, that's
Right.
really very tough. Even people from IIT background, they are not able to clear CSET.
True.
So in the third attempt, I was very clear that where I am lacking, because the second attempt failure, that was not able, that was such a big that I was not able to digest.
Right.
I was completely shattered and fragmented. So I took a break for 1-2 days, and I start thinking that what had happened, and I start realizing and introspecting that if this will be the case, if I will not introspect deeply, then I will never be able to make it.
Right.
So when I introspected, I came to a conclusion that the things I am lacking in, I have to put extra work, hard work. I
Right.
have to take suggestion from more people who are well in this field. So I took a lot of help from my colleagues. They helped me in clearing CSET. When I cleared my
Right.
CSET, so I
Then it
was
was a
prepared in
cakewalk.
that period for CSET.
Okay.
Optional, that was I was very well prepared. In GS, I was, because I was revising it a lot, because
Right.
I was knowing that one day I will write mains.
True.
And writing mains answer, that's not a fortnight game. You have
True.
to develop skill over time.
Right.
So I start writing 1-2 answer, and I started discussing those answer with my colleagues, friends.
Okay.
They start telling me that you are making such mistakes.
Right.
So I always took my mistake as in a reward, and I started working on that, because making mistake, that's not the big issue. That's a good thing you
True.
can do, but repeating mistake, that's the most terrible thing you can do. So I will say that you will start from imperfect, and you over the time uh, you will develop some perfection, some sort of perfection, and you will clear it.
Okay. So
So
same.
I will say,
Right. Right, sir.
yes,
Please
yes.
continue. Please
So
continue.
if failure or any type of setback come, any type of issue, because life is full of challenges, any uh, tragic happening with you, you have to bounce back.
Right.
Because a lot of people, even 99% people, they leave when they face any financial constraint, any domestic issue, or a tragic happening, or a failure. But you don't have to stop,
Right.
because you have to win.
Okay. So ultimately, you never took the failures to your heart. आपने अपना कभी मोरल डाउन नहीं होने दिया, और सीसैट जिसको हम बड़े ट्रिवियल सी चीज मानते हैं कि ये तो हो ही जाएगा, when you felt कि भाई यहाँ पे मैं लैक कर रहा हूँ, so you went and did the hard work and ultimately you were able to get through that stage. So सर यहाँ पे आंसर राइटिंग का प्रैक्टिस आपने बता दिया कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है. सिमिलरली प्रीलिम्स के लिए भी जो टेस्ट सीरीज है, मॉक टेस्ट है, उनका भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंस रहा होगा, both for GS and for CSAT.
Okay, especially for prelim PT, I will say that going through last year paper, PYQ, previous year question, that's the most important thing you have to do. Because no test series or any institute, they can match to UPSC. So I will say to all the aspirants that you go thoroughly through those last 10 or 8 year papers. You have to be very thorough in that. Okay. And after that, when you are actively preparing for prelim, then you do some test series, you write a series, some like 30-40. That's more than sufficient. And the purpose of writing test series, that's time management, you will learn from that. Value addition, any new thing you can learn from that. And one thing you will learn that you had read something, but you are not able to deliver in the exam.
True.
And you have to note those points, that where I am lacking, why I am not able to answer that question, although I was knowing it. So that will bring or the point that you had not revised the things properly. That these are the
True.
things you learn from. So even if you are not getting good marks in test series, that happen with lot of student, even 95%
Right.
student, they don't even touch 70 marks out of 200. So don't worry for that. I
Okay.
was not even able to get more than 100, but still I cracked Indian Forest Service, Indian Civil
Right.
Services. That's not the, because UPSC paper, that's completely different. So
Mhm.
don't take test series that seriously, although they improve your preparation, but not to that extent.
Yeah. I mean, test series are meant to sort of simulate the exam, but
Yes,
to
exactly.
to have a yardstick to go by the exam, आपको previous year's questions को ज़्यादा importance देना पड़ेगा
Yes,
अपने हिसाब
exactly.
से.
That's very important. Syllabus in the previous year question, that's the
Right.
most important things
Right.
you have to keep with you.
So sir, next अब अगर हम मेंस की बात करें तो आपका ऑप्शनल क्या था और उसमें आपने कैसे प्रिपेयर किया, एंड व्हाट अबाउट जीएस पोर्शन लाइक एथिक्स, एसे एंड क्योंकि इनकी जो प्रिपरेशन है इट इज क्वाइट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द जीएस 1 2 and 3. सो थोड़ा इसके बारे में अगर हमें
Okay.
बता दीजिए.
Yes, I will say that optional, that's the most important paper you have to choose.
Right.
I have shared my strategy and the thing how to choose optional paper.
Okay.
So whichever optional you are choosing, try to give 2-3 hours every day, because
Okay.
if you are getting good marks in your optional paper, then there are lot chances that you will make to list. Otherwise,
Right.
you will never be able to clear mains. There are people
True.
who are not able to clear mains for even they had written their mains exam 3-4 times. So you have to understand it. So there are very tragic stories. So you have to choose the thing very carefully, because you are the master of the ship. Nobody else will listen your excuses that it's
True.
hard or easy. You have to.
Right. Okay. And about ethics and essay, would you recommend
Okay.
going for a test series or preparing it by yourself or going for some coaching? What was your strategy about these subjects?
For ethics, I will say, because in ethics there is 50% portion of case studies and 50% of some theory part.
Right.
First you have to learn the theory part, everything about what's sympathy, empathy, then what are fundamental values of civil
Right.
servant,
The
everything,
keywords
probity.
and
Okay, after going through that, when you will learn that the clear definition of that, after that you will be able to answer those case studies.
right.
So the book I will suggest, that's there is of lexicon, that's also a good book.
Right.
There are notes from Lukman IAS. You can
Right.
follow either of the sources. One thing I will say, that aspirant who are preparing for mains, they have to see topper copies, test series
Right.
copies. You will learn a lot of skills from those, that how they have written. You will really find that they have written very good answers, and you will
Right.
try to imitate and copy those kind of things. Also, keep going through those copies.
Okay.
They had written very well, and that will give you the idea how to write the answer.
Right.
So that's one thing. And you have talked about essay. I will say, when you will complete all the GS paper, GS 1 to 4, and then not optional, but then you will, because you then have a lot of ideas, then you will
Right.
start writing essay on any topic. Then you have a
Right.
lot of dimension to add. So in starting you may have one dimension, but later on, then you will, when you will study international relation, you will now the geopolitics,
Right.
you will add that to your essay, that will add weight to your essay. Then you will read about international relation, geopolitics, everything,
Right.
you will add that also. In ethics you will study about value system,
Right.
morals. values, what is attitude, empathy, sympathy, a lot of examples.
Right.
That also you will add in your essay. So that will enrich your content and you will systematize over time. So one
Right.
suggestion I will give that the people who have got very good marks in essay, so start in seeing those copy, that how they have written, what
Right.
was their approach. You
Okay.
have to
So start
go
going
through
through
that also.
toppers notebook, toppers test books also.
Yes.
So another area that I wanted to touch upon is current affairs. Like there are two options. First is newspapers, and second is the material that you get from institutes, be it daily summaries or monthly or PTs or yearly summaries that we call. So, what would your preferred source be, and the strategy regarding current affairs? Because it is important in all three stages, be it prelims, mains, or interview. And in fact, as far as JKPSC exams, KS exam was concerned, the last time के exam था, it was quite current based or खाली PTs या monthly से भी it was not possible to answer all the questions.
Yes. Current affair and contemporary happening, that's really very important, and
Right.
lot of question directly or indirectly they're asked in prelim as well as in mains.
True.
And in interview, that's obvious. So I will suggest two newspapers, the Hindu and Indian Express.
Okay.
Both are very good newspaper.
Right.
Start following those sources from Facebook. They are not a real source of information. Buy your own paper, hard copy, or if even you can buy that soft copy.
Right.
Take your time, sit down and read it properly. Every minute you are giving in that, that's worth it. Many a time students think that we have to skip it and lot of most important thing I have to do, but that's not the right thing to do, because in UPSC nobody can skip newspaper. Second thing, monthly newspaper you can read from any institute. Almost all are similar, but I was following that Rouse Focus Monthly.
Okay.
Third thing, for current affair you can follow DNS of Rouse IAS, Daily News Simplified.
Right.
Of Rouse IAS, that's they are expert tutors.
Okay.
They are doing a noble job. I had followed that also for some time.
Okay.
After getting a pace, I stopped it because I was running, have less time.
Okay.
I will suggest that who are novice in this field, they should follow that, because they will learn that what are the important topic they have to touch on during reading newspaper. And also they also bring in various previous year questions that have relevance to that editorial or topic. That's
okay. Oh, that's wonderful, sir. So now one more thing, that setbacks and lows, dejection, feeling of monotonity, these are part and parcel of this exam. So what did you
yes.
do to beat that particular thought cycle?
Yes, one thing that in UPSC monotony, that every day you have to get up at the same time and you have to get back to library or sit in the room on the same chair, on the same table, in the same room.
True.
That's very boring thing, I will say. Many of the people, they just cannot tolerate that. They try to break that cage and get out of it, but you have to live in that cage, because success is there only because you are feeling uncomfortable altogether, but still you have to stick to that, because we also have to take care of our mental health and physical health also. I will suggest all the aspirants that do study hard work, but take your time to play or to do some jogging or going to gym. That's really very important. Take out your time, 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Go just take a walk, do jogging, do push up, do play any game.
Right.
That will take care of your mental health and physical health, and you will be able to sustain that schedule over the time.
Right.
But if you are just sitting and just saying that I will continue, one day you will break down. Your health will not,
Right.
and will not, you will not be able to continue because there will be a lot of problem.
True.
So I will say take care of your mental and as well as physical health. That's the most important thing during UPSC exam.
Right.
Because many students, when they get into that mains preparation mode, they don't take care of their mental health, physical health. And what happened that during mains exam, they are not able to sit in the exam for 6 hours
Right.
because they are so fragile, become so fragile sitting on the same table and sitting same
True.
chair. They become introvert a lot. So
Right.
I will say that during that time, do talk with your parents or good friends.
Right.
Do spend time with them. Although there should be everything should be regulated. That if you are going to canteen, sit with friend for 5 minutes, and then just get back to your
Right.
table or library wherever you are sitting.
Okay. So sir, हमने इंटरव्यू को स्किप कर दिया. अगर आप कुछ जल्दी से बता पाए इंटरव्यू के लिए क्या स्ट्रेटजी रहनी चाहिए, क्योंकि स्टेट पीसीएस का जेके पीएससी का इंटरव्यू भी कुछ देर में आने वाला है.
हाँ, yes.
So अगर उसके बारे में आप
I will say yes. Every student who had appeared for mains and expecting that he will get to the list, I will seriously say that they should start preparing for interview.
Okay.
Because interview, that's personality test. You have to develop a lot of trait. You have to develop your speaking skill, conversation skill. Then you have to develop the proficiency and fluency in your language. Because everybody had the problem with the language. Although it's not important that anyway you have to just convey your message. Language is not a big issue, but still there is need of time that you have to speak in English or in Urdu, but you have to speak very fluently. So try speaking with your friends or teachers. Even you can sit in front of the mirror and you start talking with yourself only, but do it right now, because it's competition. In competition, if you are sitting, somebody else is doing some work and he will excel in that. So start preparing for interview. Do start interacting with one another. Start conversing in English or any language you are comfortable in Urdu. Start reading newspaper. That's the thing. And don't take that. It's not that big deal. You will make it.
Okay, that's a very good message for the aspirants. And sir, I think we have covered all the bases, all 3 exams, and you've already enlightened us about how you beat the stress of the exam. And now about your future plans and what service you're expecting. Please, if you would let us know about that.
Yes. Earlier I was assistant commandant, CAPF.
Right.
But now I had, because I had not joined that service, because I was expecting that I will get civil services, and Alhamdulillah, by God's grace, I got IAS. I will get definitely, inshallah. Although I had paid for Indian Forest Service interview, hopefully I will get into that list also, but preferably I will go for IAS.
Okay. And so you must be getting ready for the life of a IAS probationer in a while, going to Labasna and enjoying and learning the traits of the trade there. So with that in mind, sir, one final word for the aspirants that you would say, that mantra that gave you courage to, get up and give it your 100% every morning.
Yes, that's very important thing. One message I will give to all the aspirants, that the reason why you had started it, if you had started it, you have to finish it. Nobody else is coming to finish it. So for finishing it, you have to be patient. You should have patience, then perseverance, third thing that's most important, even more important than hard work, that is consistency. And the fourth
Right.
thing is hard work,
Okay.
discipline, self-regulation. These
Right.
are really very important thing. If you have, then you are very lucky people. If you don't have, just develop it.
True.
Only then you will make it. It's not that UPSC or any competitive exam, that's not the small thing that you will get on decorated platter. You have to go out. You have to work hard.
Right.
I wish you all the best. I hope you will make it. I know it well. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. So you've been very gracious and kind enough to spare your precious time to interact with me and spread your message to all the aspirants. And I do hope that you have a very bright career as a civil servant. And thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I will be back. Any type of help I will be able to give to any aspirant. I will be there.
Definitely.
I wish you good luck.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thanks a lot, sir.